The question over here is to find all values. So you can take notes if you want of x such that sine of 2x is equal to sine of x, and x is greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 2 pi. Okay, you try to solve for x over here. So you try to find all values of x over here. And so how do you do this? Now let's put down this equation. Okay, so we have sine of 2x here equal to sine of x. Do you guys remember the double angle formula? It says that sine of 2x is equal to what? Anyone?
2 sine x cosine x, right?
Yes, 2 sine x cosine x. Okay, so over here, if I want to solve for x here, this is sine x, and this is sine of 2x. So I would like to have a sine x. Okay, so I will express sine of 2x over here relate to sine of x. So we're going to get 2 sine x cosine x. Okay, that's equal to sine x. Okay, now after this, we have this sine x over here, sine x over here. Let's move all the terms to the left side of the equation. Okay, so we're going to have 2 sine x cosine x, and then minus sine x over here equal to 0. And then we can take out this common factor, sine x over here. So we take that out, sine x. And then we will have this parenthesis. Now over here, what do we left over here? We have 2 cosine x over here. And then what? Minus 1, right? And then that's equal to 0. Now because we will try to solve this equation, we like to have this side here in the factor form, okay? And the other side equal to 0. That way we can use the 0 factor property, and we can conclude that if they multiply equal to 0, then one of the factor has to be 0, right? So we could have this equal to 0, or this equal to 0. Okay. Now when we have this sine of x equal to 0, so we break it down into 2 separate equations, and then the other one here it is 2 cosine x minus 1 equal to 0. Now for the second equation over here, 2 cosine x minus 1 equal to 0, you will have this cosine x equal to 1/2. Okay. Now we're going to solve these 2 equations separately. Okay. So what do I do over here? Now remember, we'll consider this x here from 0 to 2 pi. Okay. What are those angles in radian? Remember, this is in radian. Okay. Can you find those angles in 0 to 2 pi? Sine of that equal to 0. Okay. What are those angles in radian? What does x equal to? Sine of what equal to 0? Remember, sine of 0 equal to 0. Okay. What else? You can try to think about the unit circle over here, right? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, right? Remember SOHCAHTOA? SOHCAHTOA. So sine, okay, sine of theta, okay, that's equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So over here you will have this angle 0, sine of that equal to 0. Because the opposite side, the y over here, the corresponding side here, the y here is 0. So 0 is one of it, okay? Now, can you find another angle from 0 to 2 pi? Sine of that also equal to 0. What's the other angle?
Pi.
pi over here, right? Pi over here. So we have pi also. So this one over here, okay, that's pi. Sine of that will also equal 0 because the opposite side here is 0. Okay. What else?
2 pi?
And 2 pi, yes. And 2 pi. 2 pi over here. Sine of that also equal to 0. Okay. So and then 2 pi. So we get 3 right here. Okay. Now, I think we got all of them from 0 to 2 pi already, right? So we're done with this one. What about this for this equation? Cosine x equal 1/2. Remember, we're focusing on the angle from 0 to 2 pi. So let's try to think about what will be those angle. Okay. Now, first of all, you try to find the angle at the first quadrant right here first, right? From 0 to pi over 2. Cosine of what from 0 to pi over 2? That's equal to 1/2. X is equal to, what angle is that?
Pi over 3?
Yes, that's pi over 3. Okay, so that's pi over 3. Let me draw the angle. This angle over here. Pi over 3. I'm going to actually maybe help you to remember those special angles. How do you remember sine, cosine, and tangent? Sine, cosine, okay? I can make a video to tell you some trick to remember, okay? So pi over 3 is one of them, okay? And what else? Cosine is what? SOHCAHTOA, right? So SOHCAHTOA. So cosine is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse, okay? Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So the adjacent side here will be adjacent side here over this hypotenuse will be 1/2. So the pi over 3 is one of them. Okay. What else? Can you find another angle? Well, because it depends on this adjacent side over here, right? Okay. So I think the other angle over here will be this one over here. Okay. With this reference angle here also being pi over 3. Okay. So that's another angle. Okay. So this angle over here. Now, in radian, what will be this angle? So that will be what?
5 pi over 3?
Yes, it's 2 pi minus pi over 3. So that will be 5 pi over 3. So 5 pi over 3, that's another angle that cosine of that is equal to 1/2. And it is inside the 0 to 2 pi right here. So now I think we got all of them. Okay, so you put this one and this one together. So that will be the answer. So the answer over here will be x is equal to, they want you to enter that from small to big, okay, and separate by comma. So the smallest one is 0, and then the next one is pi over 3. And then what's the next one? Pi, right? Okay, and then the next one will be 5 pi over 3. And then the last one will be 2 pi. So for this phi angle in radian, right? And that's in 0 to 2 pi. And those are the solution for that equation. Okay, so does it make sense?